Hi guys, welcome along to the Supporters Club. Joining me, Paul, as we talk about the big winners and the big losers in the Premier League so far. Now, every team has played 7 games. It's been a really interesting season so far. Lots and lots of ups and downs. Well, it's Arsenal lead away, played 7, won 5, drawn 1, lost 1. Goals for 14 goals they've scored, and they've only conceded 3. Very, very tight at the back. Goal difference of plus 11. And they are shortly followed by Liverpool in second place. Played 7, won 5, drawn none, lost 2. Goals scored 13, goals against 9, with a goal difference of plus 4. Now, Tottenham down in third on 14 points, joint with Bournemouth, only on goal difference in fourth, with Manchester City starting to hit a little bit of form now in 13th. As we look towards the bottom end of the Premier League table, Wolverhampton Wanderers hit a little bit of form recently with those 2 draws. Probably should have turned at least one of them into wins. They're on 2 points, with West Ham in 19th on 4 points, and just above them, Burnley on 4 points also, but with a 2-goal better goal difference. Okay, let's have a look at the players. How are they performing? Goals, Erling Haaland leading the way. No surprise there on 9. Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth on 6 goals. What a great season he's had. Maybe a little bit of disappointment in the summer from not getting his move, but he is having a fantastic season with 6 goals. Igor Thiago missed a golden opportunity, didn't he, against Manchester City at the weekend. One-on-one with Donnarumma. Little dodgy touch allowed Donnarumma to make the save, but he's got 4 goals. Great return from him so far. With Jadon Anthony from Burnley, 4 goals. One of the promoted teams. They'll certainly be looking for him to hit double figures and help to keep Burnley in the Premier League. Hugo Ekitike, massive signing for Liverpool, 3 goals so far. While Moises Caicedo, probably not known for his goals for Chelsea, he's on 3 goals, and what a fantastic game he had at the weekend against Liverpool. And Nick Voltemade, the Newcastle striker, big money signing coming over from Germany. He was certainly looking to hit the ground running, and he is also on 3 goals. Okay, who are the guys that are setting these guys up? Hiding in the background, not taking all the glory. Mohamed Kudus from Tottenham, 4 assists, along with Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, 4 assists also. He is said at the weekend after the game against... who did they play at the weekend? It escapes me at the minute. Crystal Palace. Yeah, he said after the Crystal Palace game that he has certainly been given the freedom by David Moyes. Defensively, he's going to get roles. He's got positions where he needs to be when the team hasn't got the ball. But when they have got the ball, he's expressed his delight at having that freedom to attack and pretty much be the creator within that Everton side. And that is showing with 4 assists so far. Granit Xhaka, people were saying his legs have gone. He's joined Sunderland. Tricky move coming over from Germany. Had a very good last couple of seasons in Germany, didn't he? Joining Sunderland, newly promoted to the Premier League. He has hit the ground running. 3 assists for Granit Xhaka. Well, Al Haj Malik Diouf from West Ham, 3 assists also. Same as João Pedro Semenyo. What a great return. 6 goals and 3 assists for him. Jeremy Doku for Manchester City, also on 3 assists. And there's a load of players on 2 assists. Total passes. Who are the ones that are keeping the ball ticking over? Well, no surprise really. Elliot Anderson for Nottingham Forest in a very, very much struggling Nottingham Forest team. 563 passes so far. This is 9 ahead of second place. Virgil van Dijk. Is that show how Liverpool are playing, building up from the back, taking their time, being patient. Virgil van Dijk so far with 554 passes. Also, okay, we look down. Lewis Dunk, another centre-half. Maybe this is the way the football's going now, littered with centre-half and defensive-minded players. Lewis Dunk, 463 passes. Jean-Paul Van Hecke from Brighton and Hove Albion, 440 passes. Well, 1 pass behind Joachim Anderson from Fulham, another defender, 439. So maybe that's the way football's going now. All of these defensive-minded players getting a lot of ball play, building up from the back, taking the ball off the keeper, switching play between centre-halves and fullbacks. Clean sheets, Nick Pope, Newcastle United, great goalkeeper. Surely he's going to be putting pressure on Jordan Pickford for that number 1 spot for England ahead of the World Cup. Big season coming up for the keepers. Nick Pope, 5 clean sheets. David Raya, Arsenal do not concede many goals. As we said just now, Arsenal only conceded the 3 goals so far this season. David Raya, 4 clean sheets. Robin Ruffs from Sunderland, he's going to be key. Clean sheets are going to be key for the teams coming up. For Sunderland keeper there with 3 clean sheets. And Jure Petrovic from Bournemouth, big season for him after his move from Chelsea, 3 clean sheets. and Guillermo Vicario, 3 clean sheets. Much changed from life under Ange Postecoglou for Tottenham and Thomas Frank. So Guillermo Vicario with the 3 clean sheets. Dean Henderson as well, another England keeper. Is he going to be looking to push Jordan Pickford and Nick Pope for that number 1 spot? 3 clean sheets for Dean Henderson also. Let's have a look at some of Premier League club stats. Manchester City, 15 goals this season, leading the way. Not surprising with Erling Haaland up top, bagging 9 of them already. Arsenal, 14 goals. Chelsea, 13, with Spurs and Liverpool also on 13. We've also got tackles, 1. Wolves, top of that table, 94 tackles. Crystal Palace, 93 tackles. Spurs down in 6th with 76 tackles. João Palhinha probably responsible for about 75 of those, I believe. And the blocks, Burnley, Everton, Brentford leading away on that. Total passes, no surprise. Manchester City leading away with 3,785 tackles. What was that? Passes, sorry, not tackles, passes. If we look back at some of the big results, Liverpool kicking off the season, 4-2 win against Bournemouth. Then we had the Super Sunday, didn't we? Chelsea drawing 0-0 against Crystal Palace when Arsenal went to Manchester United, winning by 1-0. That second match week followed up with Chelsea piling the pressure on Graham Potter at West Ham, winning 5-1 on the Friday away from home. That was a massive result, wasn't it? And the following day, Tottenham winning away to Manchester City by 2-0. The same day, Arsenal later on that evening walloping Leeds by 5-0 at the Emirates. Well, Liverpool, massive win away from home against Newcastle United by 3-2. Last minute winner by the young lad who came off the bench. Now, match week 3, Chelsea winning at home to Fulham, 2-0. Man United getting a much needed win, 3-2 at home to Burnley. Certainly rode their luck in that one, didn't they? And Tottenham losing at home to Bournemouth by 1-0. Now, the one that really shaped, Liverpool beating Arsenal by 1-0. We started thinking, are Liverpool going to start running away with this title already, having won the season last year with 4 games to go? Well, Manchester City on that same Sunday losing 2-1 away to Brighton. People started ruling Manchester City out, didn't they? They're not going to win it this year. They're going to struggle. Rule them off at write them off at your peril. Arsenal winning 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest in match week 4 on the same day where Tottenham went to West Ham, East London, winning by 3-0. Chelsea drawing 2-2 away at Brentford, while Manchester City and Liverpool both winning on the Sunday. Manchester City winning the Manchester Derby by 3-0 and Liverpool winning away to Burnley. We went into match week number 5. The misery continued in for Nottingham Forest, only drawing 1-1 away to Burnley. That's certainly a game where they would have been looking to have won. Manchester United, 2 red cards in that game, where Sanchez, the Chelsea keeper, got sent off early doors, didn't he? And they went on to win against Chelsea by 2-1. Liverpool beat Everton 2-1. Tottenham drawing away 2-2 against Brighton, coming back from 2-0 down. And Thomas Frank said that was the best performance of the season for his club. Manchester City drawing 1-1 away to Arsenal. Match week number 6, numero 6. Manchester United losing away to Brentford. That's going to be a sign of their season, I think, isn't it? Win 1, lose 1, draw 1. I think they're going to struggle this year. We'll go on to that in a bit. Crystal Palace beating Liverpool by 2-1 with a last-minute winner, very, very last-minute winner, wasn't it, by Eddie Nketiah, and a very deserved win for Crystal Palace. I touched on the other week that they could have been 4 up at half-time. Manchester City hammering Burnley by 5-1. Probably the scoreline didn't quite reflect the end result there, which Scott Parker backed up and said he was quite pleased with the way his team played. But Manchester City, now that's kind of side, and they with Erling Haaland in the team, he's always going to get goals, and so are the club. Tottenham very, very fortunate to have got away with a point at home to Wolves. Poor performance by Tottenham, with João Palhinha scoring the last-minute equaliser there. With Arsenal going up to Newcastle, that is a very, very tough game to go and pick up anything, and they beat Newcastle by 2-1 with Gabriel with a very late winner there. Last week, so this weekend just gone, Leeds losing at home to Tottenham in the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday. Massive win for Tottenham. 7 games they've gone before international breaks without winning, so they broke that duck now. They can go into the international break full of confidence, sitting in 3rd place in the Premier League. Arsenal winning at home to West Ham by 2-0. Manchester United, another much needed win for them, winning 2-0 against Sunderland. Chelsea beating Liverpool by 2-1. Caicedo with a goal there, there, and Esteval with the last minute winner. That is a massive result. How big is that going to be when the end of the season comes around? Because all these points do count, don't they, when it comes to the end? And Manchester City on Sunday winning by 1-0 against Brentford down at Brentford. And who scored? That man again, Mr. Erling Haaland. Let's have a little look at the league table then. So we touched on it just now. Arsenal 1 point clear at the top of the Premier League, 16 points. Liverpool second on 15. Now, Arsenal, very, very difficult to break down. Clean sheets all the time that we said with David Raya just now. They are certainly, at the minute, after 7 games, going to be the team to beat, in my opinion. Liverpool, is pressure on Slot? This is his team now. This made some big money signings over the summer. Maybe not the net spend was as big as some clubs. It was about 125 million net spend. But with these big money signings, they're going to be needing Florian Wirtz and people like that, Ekitike, Isak, to certainly start stepping up and putting away teams like Crystal Palace that they struggled against. And also Chelsea, another game where the old proverbial 6-pointers, because surely Chelsea are going to be in that mix for the top 4 come the end of the season. Tottenham in 3rd place, a very, very good start considering the very poor league season had last season. We're losing 22 games out of 38. That is not good enough, is it? So for any Premier League team, let alone some club that's looking to finish in the top 4. Bournemouth, what a great season they're having. Areola, did you see him at the weekend? Running the line on Sunday for his girls football team. Absolutely amazing for Areola. He is such a good manager, isn't he? He's got Bournemouth playing some really good football and solid as well. Played 7, won 4, drawn 2, lost 1, scoring 11 goals in 7 games, which is a good return. Semenyo is certainly key to that. And they are going to be looking to have a good season. 4th at the minute. I don't know what Bournemouth are really realistically expecting. Let me know in the comments what you think your teams are going to be expecting for this season. Bournemouth, potentially top half, something like that. I think if they finish top 8, top 9, that'd be a very, very good season for Bournemouth. And certainly maybe looking to replicate what Nottingham Forest did last year. Not so much what Forest are doing this year. Manchester City in 5th. Won the last 2 games. 3 wins out of the last 4. They're currently in 5th on 9 points. Not 9 points, sorry, I've misread that. They're currently on 13 points, just 3 points off the top of the league. It is early doors, isn't it? We were talking a couple of weeks ago with Arsenal and Liverpool. Liverpool was potentially running away with it. They went and lost to Crystal Palace. Arsenal won, closed that gap up, and now look at it. Arsenal top of the league by 1 point. As we continue to go down, Crystal Palace's 19-game unbeaten run came to an end at the weekend on Sunday against Everton. A great win for Everton, much needed win in front of their home fans. Fantastic new stadium down there, by the way. But Crystal Palace, they are looking very, very good, aren't they? I don't think that's going to be a bit of a slight bump on the road of their season, I would say. But 19 games unbeaten, fantastic return for Crystal Palace, and they're certainly going to be looking to get that going again next, where they are facing, I should tell you, let's have a little look, they're facing Bournemouth, so that's going to be a bit of a tricky game, actually, a massive game for both teams, with Bournemouth certainly looking to kick on and Crystal Palace looking to start another 19-game run. If they did, then I think they'll certainly be in and around that top 4, won't they? Chelsea, sorry. So they're down in 7th place. Lost 2 out of the last 3, but back on the winning run after beating Liverpool at home at the weekend. They're on 11 points. Next up, Nottingham Forest. That's certainly going to be a tough game for Forest, but Chelsea looking to add to their win at the weekend and start looking towards the higher end of the table. Everton in 8th place. I think they'll certainly take that come the end of the season. David Moyes, what a great job he's done now after going back in after taking over from Sean Dyche. Moving into the new stadium, fantastic, doesn't it? That atmosphere, and when they're playing Z cars and the players are running out, that's a great stadium. And they certainly look to have taken that Goodison Park atmosphere down the road to the new stadium, and wishing them the very best for the season. A really good football club, Everton. They're in 8th. In 9th, Sunderland. If they finish anywhere near 9th, I think they'll be delighted come the end of the season on 11 points. Next up for them is Wolves. That's going to be a tricky game for both clubs, that one. But I think Sunderland are doing all right. They've got a good bit of experience in the side. They're quite lively going forward. They're going to be one of those, maybe draw a couple, lose a couple, win one. They're going to be around that kind of 35-point mark, I would say, towards the end of the season. And for the newly promoted sides like Sunderland, Leeds and Burnley, just staying up is key, isn't it? Staying up is key for them. Manchester United in 10th, high flying compared to last season. Their last 5 games, win, loss, win, loss, win. So they've got Liverpool next. Is that going to be another loss? We don't know. We'll see. But they are very, very much one of those sides where it's just going to be hit and miss, unfortunately. I think teams have kind of found him out. Amorim is sticking with his 3-4-3. He's sticking players in positions that they don't normally play. There's no excuses now, really. He's had the summer, isn't he? I don't know whether he's had his hands tied or not, but this is very much his team now, and it's up to him to kind of get that winning run going. But the pressure is very, very much on him, because I believe if they finish anywhere near 10th, or around that kind of mark from this season, then surely he's going to be given the boot from Manchester United. I'm sure there's going to be more on that as we go. Man United fans, if you're watching, just let me know what you think Manchester United are going to be doing this season. Just let me know. You can email us, footballfanpaul@gmail.com. You can join our live shows when we go live, normally at the weekends or on Friday nights, and we will talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can join us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, X, Twitch. Join us on all the platforms. Let us know in the comments, subscribe, like, and all that kind of stuff. Newcastle United in 11th. Surely they're going to be looking up rather than down. 7 games played, only the 2 wins for them so far, 3 draws. So maybe just those games have just been a little bit too tight for Newcastle in a minute. And Isak was probably the difference last season, wasn't he? Brighton and Hove Albion, I'm sure they're going to start picking up soon. I do like their manager. Played 7, 1-2. Drawn 3, lost 2, scored 10, let in 10. So maybe that's the way their season's going to go so far. Last 5 only lost 1 in 5, 2 draws and 2 wins for the other results. Aston Villa still waiting to get going, aren't they, under Unai Emery for this season? Very, very slow start, but the last 4 games, drew 2, won the last 2. So they're going to be looking to get going. And next game against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Fulham in 14th. A very good manager they've got there. I really do like Marcus Silva. He's got his team playing, a really good identity for that football club, but lost the last 2. Won the 2 before that, but lost the last 2. They've got Arsenal coming up next. Be very, very tough game for them. If they can get something out of the game, I'm sure they'll take that. Leeds United down in 15th place. Lost the last game out at home against Tottenham. That's the first home defeat for Leeds in just over a year. And they've got Burnley up next. So that is going to be a massive game for both clubs. Brentford in 16th, won 2 out of 7. The last 3 games, lost 2, won 1. West Ham up next for them. So another massive London derby for both clubs. They can much do with those 3 points. Nottingham Forest in 17th place, just won 1 out of the last 7. I think it's 7 or 8 games now. And Postecoglou has been in charge in all competitions and hasn't won any of them. League form, lost 4 out of the last 5. Chelsea up next. That is going to be a tough game for Nottingham Forest and for Ange Postecoglou. Has he been found out? I think for his last season at Tottenham, and certainly the second half of his first season at Tottenham, he was very much found out. Tactics, exactly the same as they've always been. Clubs had kind of sorted him out, knew how to set up, and he just didn't have a plan B from there, did he? Conceded at Tottenham 7 goals from set piece, from corners, more than any other club in the Premier League. And he kept saying, we don't really need to work on set pieces, mate. It's who we are, mate. But they are struggling. They are absolutely struggling. And I can see the pressure really, really piling on Ange Postecoglou if it hasn't done so already. Next up, 18th, Burnley, won 1 out of 7. 4 defeats out of the last 5 on 4 points. Leeds United next for Burnley. Massive game for them. I do like Scott Parker. He relied kind of last season on that defensive stability. But it's very, very difficult to take that into the Premier League, isn't it? You need to keep clean sheets. You need to be scoring goals. This is the Premier League. Every single team you play against has got a player who can cause you serious damage. There's so much ability in this league. The Championship's a tough league. Everybody talks about it. Potentially 24 teams in the league, 12 looking to go up, 12 looking to stay up. It's one of those kind of leagues. But if you can get your house sorted, you will do well in that league. Premier League. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry, Burnley is a very, very, very different kettle of fish. Leeds up next for them. West Ham in 19th. They are struggling. They've obviously brought in Nuno. It's not been a great start. Lost 3 out of the last 4. 4 points. Lost. Only won 1 game in 7 this season, and that was that game away to Nottingham Forest. So that's not really a barometer of how their season's going to go. Nuno will certainly look to use the international break for whatever players he's got around at the training ground to kind of keep that, get them solid and going into the game against Brentford next up in a couple of weeks and seeing how that one goes. Wolves picking up at the bottom of the league, lost the last 2 games, certainly deserved to get something out of the Brighton game at the weekend, and the Spurs game the weekend before or the week before, match week before. They certainly should have won that. Very, very unlucky. I thought for the first half, Spurs played very well and quite comfortable, but Wolves were brilliant in the second half and definitely should have got the 3 points there. So that's kind of like a roundup, an overview of the season so far, the winners and losers. I would say the massive winners so far has to be Arsenal, doesn't it? A lot of expectation on them. Arteta surely has to win the Premier League this year. If he doesn't, that pressure is going to be on. Liverpool as well, they're going to be looking to sticking around the top two, and certainly the pressure's on them to go and win the league. And Manchester City in 5th place. Won 3 out of the last 4. Are they now going to start hitting the ground running with this side that Guardiola has done, where he's built a team for the first time ever, in my opinion? I did a little piece on it a little while ago, where at Barcelona, he had the side there, didn't he? Real consistency, and stuck with that team. Bayern Munich, same again. Manchester City, consistency, winning non-stop. And now all of a sudden, he's had to build a team. This is his team that he's rebuilt. And can Manchester City close that gap and compete towards the top of the league? Get involved if you want to email me, footballfanpaul@gmail.com. It's running along at the bottom of the ticker here somewhere. Get involved on that. If you email me, I'll have your email address. I won't spam you with emails all the time, I promise. It would just be an email to let you know when we're going live. I'll give you a day's notice, and then you can click on the link and then join us live. It will push you to the front of the queue so you can make sure your voice is heard. Don't forget, this is your channel, giving you, the football fans, a voice amongst other real football fans. So do that. Like and subscribe on all of our socials if you can, because we've got plenty of them. We're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, X and Twitch. We're posting as much as we can. So please get involved with that if you can. Okay, that's it from me. We're going to do a live show on Friday evening. And also, I've got a massive, huge piece of news coming up at the end of the week. So stay tuned, because I'm very, very excited by what's going on. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, no matter where you're watching. We're going to be going live Friday evening, and we look forward to joining you then. It's going to be 8 o'clock UK time, so please join. Email us, footballfanpaul@gmail.com. Let us know in the comments, whatever platform you're watching on, whether you agree with anything I've said. If you completely disagree, fine. I'm not right all the time, am I? I'm not right most of the time, according to my wife. But let me know. Let me know what you want to, and anything you want me to talk about in future shorts or live videos, anything like that. Just let me know. All right. Great to hear from you. Keep supporting the teams you support, because if you don't, football is nothing without fans. I'll always maintain that one. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Cheers.